Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm taking a look at a new game for Nintendo Switch called Jisei The First Case HD. This was released on Switch on July 24th, 2020. The trigger price is $4.99 US, or regional equivalent, and it's developed by Sake Visual and published by Ratalaika Games. So this is described as a cult classic indie mystery visual novel with HD art, backgrounds, and assets. So the original Jisei is actually on Steam. It came out on June 4th, 2010. So this is just an HD version. I guess the HD version wasn't released on Steam, because I can only find the original Jisei on here. Yes. Although there were Yosei and Kansei also released. So as you could probably guess from the price, $4.99 US, it's fairly short. Looks like the Steam reviews for the original just varied between 1 and a couple of hours. So very short, but sounded quite interesting. Let's start it up. It's voice acted now, apparently, in the English version. Whoever said your life flashes before your eyes when you die should be shot. Then maybe he'd see what it's really like. When you die, there are only two things. The first is the sudden and terrifying realization that you're dying. The second thing is the final wish. As a person dies, there's always one last thing they wish they could do before they pass on. Sometimes it's as simple as wanting to say goodbye to a loved one, but usually it's a wish full of pain and regret. It's a wish for a life lived better, an angry word taken back, or a promise kept. A wish that'll never be granted. Yeah, that sucks. Every single time. But I've experienced so many, I'm kinda numb to the whole thing by now. It's not to say I'm comfortable with it, just used to it. After all, experiencing death is the story of my life. Where am I? Wow, the art looks really, really good. I think slowly, trying to get my bearings. This place doesn't look familiar. Then again, it's been 3 years since anything's looked familiar to me. I yawn as my mind slowly clears. The room I'm in is filled with the scent of freshly ground coffee. I hear something. A machine? Steam? Right, I'm in a coffee shop in some city called Edgewater. It's my second day in this city. Judging from the empty cup on the table in front of me, I stopped here for a coffee because I was getting sleepy. And then I fell asleep. Typical. I guess even a triple shot mocha latte isn't enough to keep me up these days. Oh, gonna have a cup of tea after this. Still still recovering from being sick, so I'm still having my morning and evening coffee, but I've switched out my afternoon coffee for a cup of green tea. Because it's healthier, especially for your lungs. Because I had TMI, lung stuff. But I'm going to have a nice cup of green tea after this video. I wonder if I should get another one. Yeah, why not? Head over to the counter. No one else is in line since it's still afternoon. The girl at the counter grins as soon as she sees me.
Did you have a nice nap?
You saw me?
Don't worry, you weren't snoring or anything. But I'd wipe that drool off your face if I were you.
Wow, she's so cute. Look how big her eyes are. Very cute. Oh, I like this. What?
I'm kidding. You're fine.
She laughs and winks at me.
So, what can I get for you?
Ugh.
Whoa, are you okay?
Yeah.
You look like you want to hurl.
Why am I feeling this now? There shouldn't be any reason.
Hey, if you're not feeling well, the bathrooms are down that hallway.
Yeah, thanks. I grab the counter for support and stumble off in the direction she's pointing. My head is hurting even more now. If I'm feeling this sick, it can only mean one thing. Someone has died. As I walk down the hallway, I see the door to the women's bathroom is wide open. Oh no! Someone's died! You're kidding. I wish this were a joke, but the incessant throbbing in my head tells me otherwise. Lying on the tile floor of the women's bathroom is the corpse of a woman. I enter the restroom, gagging at the smell of the restroom's flowery perfume and disinfectant. The knife sticking out of her chest doesn't make me terribly optimistic about what I'm about to do next. I hope she died quickly, otherwise this is going to wind up being very unpleasant. I glance around quickly to make sure no one's looking before I reach forward and touch her arm. I brace myself for the sudden pain in my chest, but it never comes. I can't breathe. I try to open my mouth, but it refuses to open. Something's on my face. I want to tear it away, but someone's holding me down. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I only wish that... As I open my eyes, I instinctively gasp for air. I know I wasn't actually suffocating, but it's still a reflex. My brain always remembers the pain of every death I experience, even though none of them are mine. I'm suddenly aware of someone staring at me from the hallway.
What did you do?
A woman standing behind me, staring in horror at the dead body lying on the restroom floor. I didn't. Wait! I sigh and hang my head. This isn't gonna end well. But then again, it never does.
Hey, kid! Move away from the body!
A man strides briskly down the hallway towards me. His voice and demeanor are sharp, fluid and commanding. Even without the uniform, it's obvious he's some sort of man of the law. Considering what he's wearing, I'd guess police officer. Sorry officer, I promise I didn't move anything. He looks surprised.
Officer?
Oh, you're not? Sorry, my dad was a police officer and you look kinda like him. I mean, you carry yourself the same way.
Your dad was an officer? Which precinct?
He sounds skeptical. I guess I can't blame him. I don't remember. It was a while back, when we still lived in Los Angeles. He raises a knowing eyebrow as if he just caught me in a lie, but he doesn't comment on it.
I see. Well, why don't you come with me?
Sure. I follow the officer back into the main area of the shop. The woman who first saw me is standing by one of the tables looking shaken. The only other people in the shop are the girl who works here and a guy who looks like he's in college.
Excuse me, everyone. I'd like your attention for a moment. I'm Detective Mikolai Gursky.
Mikolai. The detective pauses for a moment. It looks like he's trying to choose his words carefully.
Unfortunately, a dead body has just been discovered on this premises.
What? But how? I mean, who?
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the situation yet. Because of this, I'm going to have to ask you all to stay here until the police come.
Until they come? You mean the police aren't here yet? What about you?
I'm technically not on duty right now, I just happen to be here.
I see.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak with each of you separately for just a little bit. It'll help move the investigation along if I can start collecting information now. Is that okay?
Sure, anything to help.
Yeah, it's okay with me.
Yes, it's fine.
What about you, kid?
I am also okay with this.
Right. Then we'll start with you. Come with me, please.
Detective Gursky motions for me to follow him to the hallway away from the rest of the coffee shop. As we walk down the hallway, I can't help but stare at the body in the bathroom. Detective Gursky glances at me and gently kicks the door of the bathroom. It swings in and bounces gently off the wall, closing with a soft thud.
How are you feeling?
Why does he not assume that I murdered her? I was standing over her body.
How are you feeling?
Oops. Fine, I guess.
You just saw a dead body and you're fine?
Why does he not think I did it? Because he did it! Solved it. He frowns at me.
Never mind. Let's just start with your name.
I'd rather not say.
Why not?
Because I'd rather not.
An officer of the law is asking you a question.
Then I plead the fifth.
The Fifth Amendment is only applicable to testifying under oath in a court of law or other tribunal.
Then I invoke my Miranda rights. Detective Gursky stares at me impassively. It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but I doubt he's pleased.
Fine, no name then. Why don't you tell me what happened today?
You mean about when I found the body?
Anything you think is pertinent.
Well, I came in here around noon today. I ordered a coffee, drank it, and then fell asleep.
You fell asleep after you drank a triple shot mocha latte?
How do you know what I drank? Detective Gursky nods at the empty cup on the table where I was sleeping.
Saw you snoozing when I came in. The mocha latte checkbox is checked off on the side of the cup, and the maroon sleeve around the cup is only used for triple shots. I am a detective, you know.
And a serious one at that. He's even reading my drinks when he's off duty. Well, I woke up about 10 minutes ago, I guess. Maybe less. Gursky glanced at the clock on the wall. Oh, so he presumably saw me asleep when he came in? So that's a bit of an alibi, maybe?
So, around 2:40, you'd say?
I guess so. I was just about to get another drink when I suddenly started to feel sick.
Ah, yes, I did see you looking a little ill when you were at the counter.
The girl at the counter told me I should go to the bathroom, and when I went, I saw the body lying there.
What were you doing in the women's bathroom?
The door was already open, and I saw her from the hallway.
Did you touch her?
Even if I say no, they'll probably find my prints on her anyway. Yes.
And why were you touching her?
I wanted to see if she was okay. I didn't know she was dead at the time. She has a knife sticking out of her. The detective nods understandingly, but I doubt he believes me. Any idiot could have seen the knife in that woman's chest from at least 10 feet away.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Something weird about all this, but maybe I should keep it to myself for now. Oh, choices! I think there's something suspicious about this death.
There's a dead woman with a knife in her chest. Suspicious goes without saying. But what makes you think this is suspicious?
Just a gut feeling. I guess because when he was like checking her, felt like he couldn't breathe. Like he was being suffocated, so maybe she was like strangled first and then the knife was put in her?
I see. Anything else?
No.
Then please wait in the main area.
Sure. Detective Gursky follows me and turns to the rest of the people in the coffee shop.
Would anyone like to go next?
I'll go.
The woman raises her hand timidly, and Detective Gursky nods at her.
Then follow me.
I sink down into one of the chairs and close my eyes. This doesn't make any sense. The woman in the restroom has a knife in her chest, no doubt. But in my vision, she was being suffocated. Then again, my vision did cut off before it finished. I knew it. I bloody knew it. That woman interrupted me. I wish I could read the body again, but I'm sure to get caught even if I even try to get close to the body. Somehow it doesn't really seem worth the risk. I guess I'll just have to approach this from a different angle. Oh, okay. Let's examine the room. The cafe is small and clean with a series of paintings on the wall, and a display stand featuring expensive bags of coffee. To the side there's a hallway that leads to the bathrooms. There's also a kitchen in the back, but I can't see it from here. Let's talk to... What's her face? The girl who works at the shop is sitting a few tables away from me, staring at the ground. She looks up and notices I'm looking in her direction.
Surreal, isn't it?
Huh?
Knowing you're in the same building as a dead body, I mean.
She smiles apologetically at me.
By the way, my name's Chance.
Chance? That sounds... Chance Jackson, that's what it was. That sounds like such a fake name. What should I ask? Do you know anything about the woman who died?
Nothing comes to mind. I saw her go to the bathroom earlier, but I wasn't paying attention. Still, I think I would have recognized her if she was someone I knew.
You have a rather unusual name.
I get that a lot. The truth is, I changed my name. My parents named me Bertha. That's not exactly a good name for a famous singer.
You're a famous singer?
Not yet, but I want to be. I know it's a crazy dream, but I'm willing to take the chance. That's why I chose that name. Get it? Chance? I'm pretty cheesy, huh?
Very cheesy. Maybe not cheesy, but I think the name Bertha actually means famous. So really you had a good name in the first place.
Really? I didn't know that. You're pretty smart.
Not particularly, I just like to pay attention to names and what they mean.
That's cool. I know someone just like you.
I seriously doubt that. Do you remember what time you saw the lady?
Maybe around 2 o'clock? I'm not sure.
What makes you think it was 2 o'clock?
Well, my shift starts around then, and she came in a little bit after I did. She looked like a secretary, so I thought it was weird that she'd come during working hours.
I see. Do you think the killer's still around?
I sure hope not.
Definitely, it's one of the people here, I'm sure. Chance shivers.
I don't know why he'd stick around anyway. Doesn't a murderer usually run after he kills someone?
Or she. Good point.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Detective Gursky approaches us. The one he was speaking with trails closely behind him. Interesting. So I wonder if, I lost the chance to talk to the other guy now? I don't know if there's multiple endings. I mean, there's choices, so there's gotta be. But they could just be game overs. As soon as she sees me, she quickly looks away.
Nope, not interrupting anything.
Then do you mind coming with me?
Not at all.
Oh, I can still touch the other one. Chance waves at me before hurrying off after Detective Gursky.
Don't touch me.
The woman glares at me, her eyes laced with disgust.
I saw what you did.
I didn't do anything, I found her like that. The woman frowns at me.
Just don't speak to me.
She sits down and folds her arms, glaring at me from across the room. Guess I should leave her alone. Across the room, the college boy is typing away on his laptop. He pauses to glance at a pile of notes on the table next to him. He's still doing homework at a time like this? He looks up and we briefly make eye contact.
Is something wrong?
Not really, you just look really calm, all things considered. He glances to the side nervously.
Actually, I'm pretty freaked out. But it hasn't really set in, you know? Part of me is hoping this is all just a hidden camera show or something.
It'd be a lot nicer if that were the case.
I'm sorry. You're the one who found the body, right?
Yeah. He's silent for a moment.
Is it scary? Seeing a dead body, I mean.
I guess most people would be pretty terrified to see a dead body, especially one that's obviously been murdered. Yeah.
You look pretty calm too, you know?
Oh. I guess I do.
My name's Kizaki. What about you?
I'd rather not. Kizaki blinks and stares off into the distance for a moment. Looks like he's spacing out. Are you okay?
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm fine.
He laughs nervously before smiling warmly at me.
It's okay if you don't want to say your name.
What should I ask? What are you doing here anyway?
Studying.
He nods at the pile of paper scattered across the table.
I have an exam soon and I come here a lot since it's a quiet place with no distractions.
He sighs.
So much for that.
If he has an exam, he's probably in college. He probably is in college after all.
Yeah, but I'm only a part-time student. Even community college is expensive. I have to keep a part-time job just to stay afloat.
What do you do?
It's kinda hard to explain. I guess you could say I'm a sort of errand boy? I do odd jobs, fetch things, occasionally make tea for my boss, stuff like that.
I see. Do you think the killer's still around? Kizaki suddenly turns pale.
Killer? I thought she died from a heart attack or something. Oh no, this is even worse.
He looks like he's about to start crying. Whoa.
What if the murderer is still here? What if we're all going to be picked off one by one until there's no one left?
I really don't think that's the case. Besides, it's not as if we're trapped on a remote island or anything. I point at Kizaki's laptop. You're even connected to the internet.
Oh yeah.
He suddenly looks a lot more relieved.
I guess I overreacted.
No kidding.
But it's still really creepy to think that someone was killed here. I hope that detective figures it out soon.
Can you remember anything about the woman who died?
I'm afraid I was pretty caught up in my work. I didn't really notice much about anyone else.
Nothing at all?
Well, I think she may have been looking for someone. When she came in, she looked around a bit like she was expecting to see someone. I remember wondering if she was looking for you, and you just didn't notice her because you were asleep.
Wow, is there anyone in this coffee shop who didn't watch me sleep? Okay, well, I guess I do have a good alibi then. There's 3 witnesses who saw me asleep when she was being murdered.
Your turn, kid.
Kizaki looks up, surprised.
Oh, right.
He quickly shuffles a few of his notes around into a neat pile before he stands up. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the woman from earlier still glaring at me. Hey.
I thought I told you not to speak to me.
Listen, I don't know what you thought you saw, but that woman was already dead when I found her.
Don't take me for a fool.
I want to be reasonable with her, but she's being so difficult. If you just thought about it, you wouldn't think that. If I actually had killed that woman, don't you think I'd have tried to stop you, or at least run away? Instead I waited around and even spoke with that detective. She doesn't respond. Really? You're gonna discount me just like that?
Fine, I'll bite. What's your side of the story?
I was fucking sleeping. I've got 3 witnesses. I already told you I found her like that.
That's nice. Now don't talk to me.
You don't believe me.
Sure don't. If you can actually show me proof, then maybe I'll listen to you.
Interrogating him yourself, Miss Bergstrom?
I've been interrogating everyone, and he comes and talks to her. Detective Gursky approaches us with a hint of a smile on his lips. It's hard to tell if he's actually amused or just hiding his annoyance.
He wanted to talk to me.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak with him.
Sure, do as you please.
She shrugs and walks away. I follow Detective Gursky off to the side.
Are you sure talking with your main accuser was really a good idea?
What?
You do realize that she's convinced you're the murderer, right? Acting like that only makes you look more suspicious.
Yeah, well...
And I have to be honest, a lot of the evidence points towards you already. You were the first at the scene, and you even admitted to touching the body. There's not much that votes for your innocence.
But all the evidence you have is only circumstantial.
I can hold you for 48 hours before charging you with a crime. That's enough time to find more evidence.
Sometimes I hate the law. That law. I know, but I didn't do it.
If you really want me to believe you, you're going to have to be a lot more cooperative. Obviously, you're interested in clearing your name, whatever it may be. It works better if you work with me, not against me.
You want my help? He frowns.
Not particularly, but I don't have many options right now. I could tell you to sit this out and let the professionals handle this, but then you just go behind my back. I'd rather have you where I can keep an eye on you. So I'll let you talk around, but you have to tell me everything you learn. And for the record, this isn't a free pass to conduct your own investigation. I'm only saying you can talk with the others. Got it?
Got it. Well, looks like I have a little bit of slack for now. But even if he says that, it's not like he's giving me any useful information to go off of. Okay, well that is a very good place to leave this video. That was a look at the first 20-25 minutes of Jisei, the HD version for Nintendo Switch. It's very intriguing so far, quite a simple premise. Again, it's a very, very cheap price point. So just before I end this video, I actually finished up Jisei later, the same day I recorded this video. It took me probably another half hour to finish the game, so I think overall my playtime was probably like 45-50 minutes, something like that. Very, very short. The story wasn't particularly interesting, honestly. The gameplay consisted of going back and forth between 2 rooms and just interviewing characters and then reporting what I found out to another character. And you go back and forth like three or 4 times, and then you just solve the mystery, and that's it. I did get 1 game over, which was more annoying than anything, because if I hadn't saved, I would have had to restart from the beginning and just skip through everything. And at the very end, you get 2 chances to guess who the killer was, and if you fail twice, you also get a game over. I managed to guess it on the second one, luckily. So it's very short, less than an hour for $5. I mean, you know, it's only $5, but it really does make me think. Since we found out that there were 3 of these games, I don't know why they didn't just package them all into 1 game and make it like $15. That would have been a lot better, because the epilogue for this game was a bit of a cliffhanger. Not one I'm particularly interested in following up, honestly, but I just don't know why they didn't do all 3 together. So there you go, that was a look at the opening of Jisei. Thank you guys very much for watching this. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!